Good afternoon, everybody. Etienne Fournier with you. I will co-host this Mixed Master Division game. I will not be alone. I will be co-hosting this game with Brittany dos Santos. How are you, Brittany, this afternoon?
I'm good. The wind started to pick up quite a bit, so it's a little chilly now. Hopefully these two teams can handle it.
And even though we had two almost sunny days here in Brampton, now there is some gray clouds above our heads. So one thing's for sure, it's pretty windy here in Brampton. So 12 teams have showed up here in Brampton in the Mixed Master Division in hopes of taking the gold. But now there's only 8 remaining. 8 teams now in the quarterfinal state of mind. So are these 2 teams. So we'll be featuring this afternoon a prairie clash featuring Penguin Village from Saskatchewan against Gaia Cells from Winnipeg. I personally believe that this is probably the 2 of the coolest name of this championship here in Brampton, and even with including Edmonton, I don't think there's any like 2 teams that will be facing one another with such cool names. So for Gaia Cell in dark, while Penguins will be wearing the white jerseys. So for those who maybe are a younger audience, if you're not aware what the Gaia Cell name might come from, Gaia used to be a ultimate gear company that kind of had the big chunk of the ultimate community market, and they were somehow they closed out about 7-8 years ago. So that's what Gaia Cells relates to. Penguins on the receiving end of this first pool of a quarterfinal Mixed Master Division here in Brampton, Canadian Championship 2019. Thanks for being with us. If you're in the prairies, it's probably during your lunchtime, something like that, so enjoy your lunch. Thanks for sharing it with us. So D by Gaia. Nice grab by number 13, securing that defense. Gaia moving well the disc in the red zone and completing the first point of this game. Number 4, Meredith Barra, making the first point and the first break point of this game. So nice reading on defense, a nice way to convert. When you make a D in the red zone, you need to convert, and that's what Gaia Cell has very well done.
I don't believe we have number 13 Gaia on our list, but that was a nice D and a nice assist for her.
Nonetheless. So as we mentioned, we are in a quarterfinal. So schedule-wise, the semis will happen tomorrow, and the final of the Mixed Master Division will also be hosted tomorrow, Saturday. While in the meantime, the bronze medal game for the mixed division will be hosted on Sunday, and it will be followed by the mixed division final right afterward. So still a ton of ultimate available on the CUC webcast. So Gaia Cell, which were initially seeded 9th of this tournament, already made an upset, so they're sure of ending in the top 8. So they had a win against Kitchen Party 13-7. They lost against Reunion 9-11, and then they won 14-5 against Mastodon to finally lose against Flux from Calgary 6-15. So I have a 2-2, 2 victory, 2 loss. While Penguin Village also had 2 victory, 2 loss during their pool play matches. Penguins in the red zone, feeding number 21, I believe, securing their first point, tying this game to 1 early in this first half. I think it's number 12, if I'm not mistaken, Marcus Story.
And Alan Stonehouse there doing a really good job of giving himself a lot of room to work with in the D space. Kudos to their teammates as well for staying really shallow and really making space for each other. It's really underestimated how important making space is for your teammates. I know my coach, Carla, I talk about her a lot. She's great. She told me how she always says she's known for the story. She made Team Canada by making space. It's so important.
Just clearing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was told once that in Ultimate, when you don't attack a space on offense, you create a space. So do something. If you don't do one of those two things, well, something is wrong with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to stay active. So we have a tie game so far. Penguins responding to a break point they suffered from by a clean offense execution. Gaia on the receiving end of this pool. As we mentioned, it's pretty windy here today. Kind of going from the left-hand side towards the right-hand side. Just taking a few seconds to thank all the volunteers who got involved in CUC 2019 here in Brampton. There's approximately 80 volunteers plus the Ultimate Canada staff, so that makes approximately 100 people getting involved in making this event a successful one. So thank you very much for spending your time for the Ultimate community. So Penguins taking the disc, trying to score a break point, exchanging disc at their own goal line. Miscued by Penguin within the red zone. Gaia will have the opportunity to secure their O-line point about 10 yards away from the end zone. Lefty backhand from number 32, finding his teammate number 15. So Scott Jones securing the point for Gaia and confirming a 1-point lead. Still very early in this first half.
Interesting how Gaia was, all the downfield defenders were backing their person, really forcing them to cut under. Most likely, I'd assume because it's downwind and they know that a lot of hucks are going to come up. So a nice way to stop that from happening.
So Penguin Village, as we mentioned, they had a 2 victory and 2 loss. So they lost on Universal against Cold from Quebec. They lost their second game also to notorious KWG 14-11. And then they won the 2 following games, 15-6 against Firefly and 12-11 on Universal against BOD from Quebec. So securing a spot into the top 8. So Gaia was initially ranked number 9, Penguin number 7. So the wind becomes very, very steady and pretty strong. So that will be a challenge on the field. Who will be able to manage the best those gusts of wind. Nice pull, very deep into the end zone. Trying to get out of it as soon as possible. Still in the end zone, Penguins with tons of pressure from Gaia. Throwing it long, staying out of trouble. It's floating and it's being almost caught by Penguins. So turnover, there was some contact but no damage, no call. So number 13, I thought she was going to pick up the disc, but no, she leaves it to her teammate, number 21, Lee Criery. Disc is in the air, it's floating, and it's D'd by Penguin. So there was 2 defender on the number 13 who was threatening to with a nice long cut, but the throw was a little short.
That was a very nice heads up D help by Mackenzie Mitchell there.
Penguins at their own goal line, going upwind. on the corner. Very tough position to be in considering the direction of the wind. Nice little set. Oh, nice bit by number 13. Tons of pressure against number 55, Ali Turnquist. Turnover, and quickly number 22 secures the break point. It's now 3-1 for Gaia Cell. Gaia just scored their second break point of this first half. So taking an option on this, at least on this first half. So far we have seen in all the webcasts we've been attending that, you know, the halftime was towards like more 60 minutes of play, considering there's only 90 minutes. So most of the game this weekend have not reached the 15 points mark. All the tight game didn't reach out the 15-point marks.
Also there again, number 13 with a really nice D on Gaia. I really wish we had her on our roster to give her the credit, but unfortunately we don't have her on our list, so for now she's going to be number 13, but that was a very nice D and a very quick point for Gaia, who really busted to the disc to pick it up and got an easy score before the D could set up.
So the mystery player, number 13 from Gaia Cell. Definitely having an impact quick in this first half. Dark jerseys with the pull. Penguins receiving. Nice hang time. Upwind. Goes down. Put back into play by number 14. Throwing it long. And it's completed. Nice, very nice reading by Penguins receiver. Number 12 now with the disc. Marcus Story resetting to his teammate Brett Campbell, hammering it down in the end zone, and it's completed. Was there any call? No, confirmed by the observers. It's a 2-3 game now. Still Gaia leading by 1. So number 22 from Penguin, I believe, has made this point. No, number 25. Mackenzie Mitchell, is it? Nonetheless, still Penguins securing their second point. Both of these points were made by their O-line.
Definitely a very gutsy throw, but well taken by the receiver and well placed by the thrower, seeing that the receiver was being poached by quite a few yards and just taking advantage of that.
And we can understand the defender poaching in, you know, what are the odds that he will throw that hammer, and what are the odds that this hammer will be accurate considering the wind. So on defense, I guess you're always making a compromise. So you say, well, I'm gonna let go the tough option for the handlers and try to shut down the easy option in. So great decision, but great hammer also. Quarterfinal Mixed Master Division here in Brampton, Ontario. Gaia Cell in dark from Winnipeg. In possession, number 45, Yacine Barra. Number 3, Brad Davidson. Nice disc movement, person-to-person defense from Penguins. Resetting in the middle. Still Barra feeding his teammate number 29, Kaya Seaman. Barra acting as the quarterback of this O-line. Pass and running, attacking the line. Nice switch by Penguins. Shutting down Gaia, a few yards shy of their 4th point of this game. Looking to confirm their 2-point lead. Was a call, I believe there was some pick in the stack. Barra giving some direction to his teammates. Gaia going downwind. The disc will be in as of right now. 29 attacking the line. Nice cut. She faked to go dump, but she changed direction in order to free herself up. Kaya Seaman has scored the 4th point of Gaia Cells, confirming a 2-point lead by the dark jerseys.
Seaman there also recognizing her speed and possibly a little bit of a mismatch on the speed there and really using it to just go directly up line and get open. Doing a very good job of cutting as well. She was open on a lot of unders, wide open by quite a few yards.
So early on we have acknowledged the extremely valuable work of all the volunteers and the Ultimate Canada staff making this event such a great event, where Ultimate Canada has also a few partners taking part in this success. So the city of Brampton has provided an amazing effort, logistically speaking, with the fields, painting the field and making sure that the organization had everything they need in order to make everyone's life easy. So thanks to the city of Brampton. Thanks also to Cliff Bar, the official nutrition partner of this CUC 2019. And also thanks to Discraft, the official disc provider of Ultimate Canada. Penguins receiving the pull, trailing by 2. Going downwind. Some confusion in the stack. Finding number 42, Brock Story, putting it long. Will that be in? Oh, just slightly out of reach. Probably the wind picking it up. So it will be Gaia Cells possession at their own goal line, 70 yards away from what can be a 3rd break point of the game.
Very nice effort there from Marcus Story to track that down. Unfortunately, it was a little too far for him, but he went for quite a run to get that.
That's something we've seen all weekend long, like towards the right end of the field, like this going over far or like out of bound, almost reaching to the fence. Number 13 with the disc, the mystery player from Gaia. A travel call. Disc is moving. Gaia Cell entering the red zone. Resetting very wisely. Semi Lovat. But no. Miscued by the dark jerseys. Penguins will have the opportunity to secure their hold on offense. Penguins isolating number 42. Brock Story. Long pass by number 12, Marcus Story, but significantly out of bounds.
Unfortunately, that hut came a little bit late, made it hard for Marcus Story to throw it. He really looked like he was trying to put so much force into it because this cutter was too deep by the time the mark had sort of jumped over and he had to hold back for a second.
But the good side of it is that Gaia will put the disc back in play right in the corner, or maybe just slightly before 10 yards away from the corner. So going upwind, tough position to be in. Nice grab by number 89, Sami Lovat. Missing her pass to number 85, although Delaney Voon. Another opportunity for Penguin to secure their hold. And making sure they're trailing only by 1, which they are doing right now. Number 42, Brock Story, securing Saskatchewan point, 3rd point of the game. Gaia still leading by 1. Halfway in this first half. Almost 20 minutes have been played so far.
So that was a very nice end zone by Penguins. Really gave enough space for that throw to have so much room for error for the receiver.
So we see on the background, on the left-hand side, some people playing volleyball. You know, how do you rest from 6 games of Ultimate? Well, you know, just playing volleyball. That's how people rest. Always amazed by the athleticism of all these athletes. And we mentioned that story in a previous webcast, but Danny Sanders, which is Ultimate Canada Director-in-Chief, if I'm not mistaken. So he deals with Ultimate all year long. And how do you take vacation? Well, you go play Ultimate in the mixed division here in Brampton. So thanks, Danny, for all your work with Ultimate Canada. And best of luck into your Canadian Ultimate Championship. Gaia sails at their own break mark. .45. Putting it long. Number 22 is the target, and it's completed. Mark Semenek securing the 5th point of Gaia.
Really nice job by Gaia there, setting up a split stack play on the near side and recognizing the force was backhand rather than flick, and quickly adapting and switching the play to the other side very easily and swiftly, and having a nice box out by number 22, Mark Semenek.
Yeah,
Semenek.
Very classic box out, securing the space. So still a steady win here in Brampton, mid-afternoon, second day of Canadian Ultimate Championship. We are in quarterfinal in the Mixed Master Division. Gaia Cells from Winnipeg in the dark jerseys versus Penguin Village from Saskatchewan. So Gaia Cell has already beaten their initial seed. They were seeded number 9, so they have secured a spot in the top 8. Penguin Village looking to confirm their 7th seeded position. If they win this game, they will for sure beat their seedings. If they lose, well, they will still have an opportunity to fight for position number 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. So a drop by Penguin. Gaia Cell at their own brick mark. Nice flick upwind. It's floating for number 2, Brad Davidson. Was he in? He calls a timeout. There was a travel call on the flick from, I think it's Barra, number 45, if I'm not mistaken, Yacine Barra. It's number 15, Scott Jones. A nice flick upwind. Tons of angle at the beginning of his motion, ending it pretty flat, going approximately, 40 yards away.
Jones also doing a really good job of recognizing his poach right before he got the disc and really screaming for it and gaining quite a few yards and putting out another beautiful flick.
A great copy paste from the previous throw, and Brad Davidson securing this amazing long throw. So the first one was about 40 yards long, while this one has probably 45 yards long. But Davidson doing a nice cut, opening himself up, offering himself as a great target. So Davidson securing another break point by Gaia. That's their 3rd of this first half. They're now leading 6-3.
Gaia looking definitely very confident, all giving each other high fives on the sideline, as well as really being tall and confident players. They just look like they know they can win this game.
I'm impressed how it was really like a copy paste from the previous action. And sometimes you wonder, well, okay, we got beaten once, we're not going to get beat twice in a row, even though there was a call that brought back the disc at about halfway in the field. But hey, what a great cut by Brad Davidson, and what an amazing throw by number 15, Scott Jones, going upwind, flicking it amazingly well. Speaking of amazing, look at this pull. Big angle, floating and landing pretty hardly into Penguins' end zone. Number 42, Brock Story, getting himself open, flicking it. Story once again, forced backhand. Resetting to, I believe, number 20, Jire Reset Wong. Long pass, floating, upwind. Story is the target. Oh, just enough pressure by number 21, Lee Crary. But there was some contact, I believe.
And number 14, Brett Campbell, really answering back with that nice huck, showing that they too can play the hucking game.
There was no brutal contact on that. It was really like tipping, but sufficiently so. But still, the call is not being contested. So Penguins threatening. Few yards. Oh, that's a blade, and it's not caught. That was a very, very, I'd say, creative throws. Like a blade from the back end. Maybe the stall was getting high, but I was under the impression there was still time to go with another option.
A very hard catch to make. The disc was literally vertical to the ground. Very hard for the receiver to, especially over his head, catch a disc that's coming directly at him like that.
A blade from a backhand perspective, something we don't see too often. We can see flick, going blade, but backhand. Nonetheless, Gaia sail halfway in the field, looking for their 7th point. Already 3 points ahead of Penguins Village. Safely resetting, exchanging this very quickly. Nice rhythm, but number 3, Brad Davidson, calling a timeout, knowing that this point can become very, very important in the output of this game. So Gaia already leading by 3, with potentially a 4-point lead if they can convert this possession.
Penguins also had a few nice switches downfield right before the timeout was called on the male defenders.
Which probably explained why Gaia was just taking their time. They saw that there was some nice switches and nice poaches from Penguins Village, so they didn't want to be too gutsy with the long throws. So nice defense and nice possession also by Gaia Sales and Penguin Village. So great game so far. Tons of action. So 2 teams from the prairies. We suspect they had a few opportunities to meet one another during the course of the regular season. And they're meeting once again here, the Canadian Ultimate Championship. The disc is now in, resetting in the middle, quickly in the end zone. Nice pass by number 21, reaching out to number 12, Letitia Seaman. And the pass was made by Lee Creary. So Gaia securing a 7th point.
That was quite the visionary throw there. I didn't even see that she was that open. He managed to perfectly pass that to her.
No hesitation, just received the disc and just
Put it
flicking
right away.
it about 30 yards away.
Must
In the
have been
space.
play.
That was a great execution. I don't know if it was a setup play, but nonetheless, great execution, securing their 4-point lead against Penguin Village. That will have to find some answers. Penguins Village have not scored a break point yet, while Gaia has scored 4. So we have already shared some thanks to all the volunteers, to all our sponsors also. I'd like to thank Sebastian, who is hosting the camera, who's figuring out our mics also. He didn't know a word about Ultimate when he arrived here yesterday, and now he's a huge fan of the sports. So thanks, Sebastian, for all your good work. We appreciate. Penguin Village, halfway. Moving the disc well. Little dish from number 15, Alan Stonehouse. And finding number 12, Marcus Story in the end zone. So Penguins.
Penguin there again, having an isolating play to number 42, Brock Story. We can expect to see that a lot from them on those pull plays, really isolating him and having him make an under or deep, just get open. Clearly you can see that they rely on him as a cutter.
So on Gaia, right now, number 22 has scored twice, while all the other scores were made by different players. While on the Penguin end, 4 points, 4 different players. No, I'm sorry. Number 12 has scored the first and the fourth point of Penguin Village. So while number 25, Mackenzie Mitchell, and number 42, Brock Story, has scored the third and second point of Penguin Village. So what's at stake here at 2019 CUC Championship? Whoever wins gold will take the lead in building a team for World Championship, which will happen next year. So when it's a year that secures a spot at Worlds, the competition is always a little greater. At Canadian, what a great pass, reaching out to number 28, Melanie Stevens, who finds herself scoring the 8th point of Gaia, giving Gaia halftime. So number 28, so it's 8-4. The dark jerseys taking the lead and taking an option on going to the semi-final of the CUC Mixed Master Division. So Brittany, what are your impressions so far on this game?
Gaia is doing a really good job, especially with they have a very nice throws, very pinpoint throws, and in that, Penguins need to be a little tighter, especially in the end zone. They're getting a little stuck where they think the person they're defending is in an area where they're very unlikely to get the disc, which normally would be the case, but with this team who have such skilled throwers, anywhere you are on the field, you need to be tight to your person, as well as they have those deep throws, and I think getting a little closer, contesting the deep a little more, pushing them under a bit would help greatly as well.
So we'll see to what extent Penguin Village can apply your advice, Brittany, in the second half of this game. So we'll take a short break. We'll be right back in 2-3 minutes, so stay tuned.
Awesome. Thanks for the shout out, by the way. That's awesome.
Yes. It's Heidi House.
Heidi House.
Heidi House, yeah. Anybody else? Thank you.
You and your family are diverse and unique. Our experienced optometrists and staff at Kodak Lens Vision Center focus on providing a personalized and unique experience to exceed all of your visual needs.
just huge Chinese buffalo. This one's just huge. Well, that right there.
Better. Yeah,
Okay, it's
better.
just huge. First time I'm going there, it is this huge
Yeah.
aquarium. Then we were eating, and then the scuba diver went through and started cleaning everything and feeding the fish. Everybody was like,
That's
"Whoa,
awesome. What the heck? That's so cool that you
wow,
got to see that.
oh, what's your day job?" "Oh, I'm a scuba diver. I'm just cleaning." What? Oh yeah, honey, sorry, I got the contract.
I didn't even need a
What are
fish
you
tank.
doing with your scuba diving? Well, it's a big aquarium. No, big aquarium. That's just, wow.
That's cool.
That's really funny.
Are you guys ready?
We are back for this quarterfinal mixed master division featuring a team from Winnipeg called Gaia Cell against a team from Saskatchewan called Penguin Village. Yes, Penguin Village, coolest name out there. The score is 8 for Gaia, 4 for Penguin. Gaia have been able to score 4 break points so far, while Penguin still hunting down their first break point. So Gaia will be on the receiving end of this pool, already leading by 4. Gaia going kind of downwind, but this wind is going diagonal right now from the left hand side down to the right hand side. Great focus by number 29, Kaya Seaman, keeping her hands on this disc. Number 45, Yasin Barra, what an impact he had on this game so far, acting as the quarterback of the dark jerseys. Nice pass reaching for number 15, Scott Jones. Scott Jones looking for a reset option. Disc is floating out of reach, and it's a turn favoring Penguin Village. Oh, kind of a lazy little floaty back end. Nice focus by Penguin Village player, saving the day. Number 79, Jonathan Story. Penguins gain some yardage. Great saving by a Penguin player. The win really challenging right now. Nice swing. Nice continuation. Number 30 with the disc, Nessa Ross. Resetting, another reset by Penguins. Playing it very safe. David Purdy with the disc. Going back and disc is floating. Oh, it was deed and just tipped out of hand from the Penguin Village player. So nice effort by the Gaia Cell player who just, and the Penguin Village players almost were able to recover that disc, but unfortunately the wind probably miscued it.
Melanie Stevens there getting just an inch of that disc, enough to make a turnover.
Scott Jones looking for a reset. Oh! A disc that just went through number 11's hands, Lindsay Walker. It landed on her forefront. Wow, that must be painful. Still, Penguins resetting, working in the red zone. Nice backhand upwind, but number 29 from Gaia Cell was nice anticipation. Kaya Seaman is her name. Disc is floating. A real battle won by Scott Jones, calling a timeout. He had no option upwards, or rather be safe in hope of securing that offense possession. So Penguin Village in the last point had at least 2 opportunities in the red zone where they were not able to convert, and that would have been their first break point of this game. So they're still hunting down for that, even though they had quite a few opportunities so far.
Yeah. Also, just having that unfortunate drop that bounced or went through the hands and bounced off the head of the offender there. Just an unfortunate drop. And Penguins really need to start capitalizing on those, really getting those points in if they want to get some points back in this game and catch up.
So Lindsay Walker received this disc right in the face, but
She seems to be okay. She seems to be
okay, but it's always like surprising, and she might. She looks okay, so that's what's important. Nonetheless, number 15, Scott Jones, will be the one putting the disc basket into play for Gaia Sales. Just in the red zone, a few yards in the brick mark, looking to secure this O-line possession. Strong winds here in Brampton this afternoon. Barra and Jones. Oh, nice hand block by the Penguin Village player. Celebrating with his fist up, number 79, Jonathan Story. Great reading. Penguin looking for their first break point. Earning some yardage. Going, oh, nice defense by Jones. Yasin Barra with the disc. Looking for an option, maybe up the line. No, going break side. Finding number 89, Sammy Lovat. This is the 9th point of Gaia, securing a 5-point lead early in the second half.
Penguins just having a little trouble getting on the mark and getting on D when Gaia keeps quick transitioning like that.
And Penguin is looking for some answer to Gaia Sales D-line, or the resiliency of their O-line, figuring out ways to recover the disc when they're losing it. And we can read with just by their body language, Penguin Village, the morale is not at its highest. And considering the strong wind that seems to get stronger and stronger as the game goes by, it will be quite a challenge. Trailing by 5. Still, we're only about 45 minutes into this game, so a strong 40 minutes to be played before the hard cap horns goes on. Gaia on serve. Penguin on the receiving end. Quarter-final Canadian Ultimate Championship Mixed Master Division. Penguins. The usual suspect, number 42 with the disc. Brock Story, great anticipation.
There's a huge layout D by Heidi House.
Heidi House, which is the mystery player we had in the first half of this game, number 13. So she had quite an impact so far in this game. We're glad to have her name. So there was some discussion. Not quite sure what the call was about. That's something about when you attend a world championship, all the players are educated to use those signs. So I believe that's something we should definitely enforce in Canada for those championships. It's well, not only will that make the webcast host life easier, but you know, just for the old players and all the sidelines and all the observers also are not always near what had happened. So it would give everybody an idea. So is that a travel? Is that a foul? Is that a violation? So everybody should learn those signals and make everybody's life easier.
I find it's a lot more common now. People are starting to use them a lot more often.
I agree
especially
with you.
people who play a lot of club or juniors. A lot of juniors who have played U20s are starting to bring it to their teams now. So it's improving. Hopefully we can get everybody doing them soon.
Number 32, Mark Elridge, resetting. That's Brad Davidson with the disc. Strong gust of winds here in Brampton. Number 12 now, Letitia Seaman. But there was a call. Maybe a travel call on Seaman. But to your point, Brittany, we hope that the new generation of players that have attended those U18, U20, U24, they are used to use those signals. So we're getting there, slowly but surely.
As with most things, comes with time.
Takes time. And when you talk about Masters, oh, nice bid. Was that caught? Yes, it's confirmed. Wow, what a grab by Penguin Village, securing their O-line possession, scoring their 5th point of the game. Still trailing by 4. Wow, what a grab. Laying it out, and really there was only a few, not even an inch before the disc reaches to the ground, and Penguin Village players was able to handle it. I'm not sure who caught that.
It was number 55, Ali Turnquist, with a
Wow.
huge grab. Energizing her team. This is what they need right now. They need a big play to get themselves back in it, and that was it.
Yeah, bring their heads up, shoulders back, making sure their back is straight, and focus on the next point. Only trailing by 4. There's still a ton of time to be played in this game. Quarterfinal here at Canadian Ultimate Championship 2019 Mixed Master Division. Gaia from Winnipeg, dark jerseys. Penguin Village from Saskatchewan, white jerseys. And the win. Penguin Village serving this pool, being stopped almost halfway through the field. Barra feeding Query. Barra again. Nice cut in, nice disc movement by Gaia. It's floating. Number 21 almost cut it, but it was defended. But there is a strip call, I believe, or foul call. Observers was a few yards away from there, so had a great perspective. So hard to tell from here. One thing's for sure is that it was very, very tight. So still the two players sharing their point of view. Nonetheless, it was a great flick throw. I think Barra would throw that. No, it was not Barra. Maybe Creary? Not sure. Number 21. Yeah, I believe it's Lee Creary who put that flick in. So observers ruling that there was a foul, and we're confirming the point. Gaia Cell securing their O-line possession, confirming also their 5-point lead in this quarterfinal game. Or actually, number 21 is the one, Lee Creary is the one who caught the disc and not initiated the pass.
Gaia again doing a good job of really setting up easy O plays for themselves. They set up a split stack there, typical split stack where the front clears and the first back of the stack comes under, really making it easy for themselves here.
I just like the way that Gaia Cells just move the disc around and then whams, whacks it long, and then just waiting for the proper moment, proper timing. Even though Creary was very well defended on this last point, they figured out a way of landing this 10th point and securing their 5-point lead. We're the second half here of a quarterfinal game. Whoever wins will fight in semifinal tomorrow. Whoever loses will fight for the 5th position still tomorrow. Penguin Village on the receiving end. Gaia serving. Nice high pull, which is stopped by the wind. Little about 7 yards away from midfield. Penguins in the space. Nice grab by number 55. Great hands by Ali Turnquist. She's the one who caught that point, laying it out, just squeezing her finger underneath the disc to secure the 5th point of Penguins a few minutes ago. So showing some great catching skills.
Nice try there by Penguins. It looked very good. They have really good flow up until that last throw. Just got a little excited to get that point and just overthrew it a little bit.
Nice grab. Heidi Howes. Wow. What a player. Just laying out for everything on defense, on offense. Gaia moving the disc well. Handling those gusts of wind pretty well. Now there are a lot of pressure. Creary offering himself as a reset. Now it's number 11, Lindsay Walker. Creary once again at his own brick mark. Gaia attacking the in on the open side with success so far. Now on the sideline, putting the disc long. Target was, I believe, number, not sure it was, but still, it was out of reach. So Penguin possession. Number 14, Jordan Chochinov was the target here. Thank you, Brittany. So Penguins will put the disc back into play. Looking to maintain a 4-point gap versus Gaia Cell. And that win always there, challenging those players. Nice pressure by Gaia Cell on defense. It's a long pass, it's floating. Oh, just out of reach of number 42, Brock Story. It was a nice pass, but with the wind just picking it up, making it out of reach. I'm not sure Story was the intended receiver on that. Even though he was hanging in there, not sure he was the intended receiver. Chochinov taking the disc will put it back into play with a person-to-person defense by Penguin Village. 22 Semenek feeding his teammate. Nice, sweet and short disc movement by Gaia Cells, giving themselves a ton of option, having offense rhythm just like we... Oh no! What a catch by Heidi House! Wow! How many like top 10 action did she have so far? At least 4 layout, either on D or on O, saving those discs or just securing those D. What an athlete. And Gaia, is that confirmed? Yes, it's confirmed. Gaia going with a break point. It's their 11th point of this game. Now having a 6-point lead in this quarterfinal game here at Mixed Master Division CUC 2019.
And Gaia, knowing how strong their ladies are, really having the men hang back and handle and really sending their women upfield, knowing that they'll easily get open and really abusing the other team.
And the challenge with Penguin is that, I mean, they put the force on and like 1-2 stall, the disc is moving already, so it's very hard to contain. So all credit to Gaia Cells, who are very, very efficient in moving the disc around, moving Penguins defense around the field. Very hard to contain. And Heidi Howes, wow, number 13. She was a mystery to start this game, but now that we know her name, we will remember it for sure. Penguin Village trailing by 6. Still hunting for their first break point. But they will start this point on offense. In the meantime, Gaia has scored 5 break points. 4 of them were in the first half of this game. And on the scoreboard, only one player of Gaia scored twice. That player is number 22, Mark Semenek. All the other points were scored by different players. Penguins.
Gaia there with quite the straight up mark, stopping the huck.
Creating another turnover, forcing an force error. Gaia putting it long. What a nice flick. It's floating. Is that within the field? No. About 4 yards out of bound. Still, what a flick. That went like for, what, 45 yards? More than that. It was about halfway in the field and it went behind the end zone. So that's 35 plus 20. So it's over 55 yards long flick. Nice way to whip it. Penguins back at their own goal line. Finding a space on the break side. More on the open side. Gaia forcing backhand. Number 31 looking for an option. Putting it long. Number 14 saving the day, putting it long. After right away, but no. The disc just fell. Was there a call? Not sure. I believe there was a call. So number 2, Brad Davidson, tried to make the D, but yeah, maybe there was a call, but I guess it was retracted. It seems like there is no call. So good spirit display by goalie number 2 is, although Tyler Trachinov is getting off the field. I suspect number 2 and number 14, Tyler Trachinov, and number 14, Jordan Trachinov, to be somehow family related.
Gaia here looking like they're setting up in a side stack. Looking to isolate number, I can't see exactly who that is. Nice undercut there.
Jones with the disc, putting it long. Intended receiver is number 85, is it? Yeah, Delaney Vaughn. A really well-timer long cut. And she was very well fed. So securing a 12 points here by number 85. Gaia Cells 12, Penguin Village 5. So Gaia only 3 points away from securing a spot in the semi-final of the Mixed Master Division here in Brampton, Ontario, 2019. Last week, Edmonton hosted the junior and the adult single gender tournament for a senior and master. Tons of action in Edmonton. This week it's in Brampton that's hosting the Mixed Master and the Mixed Division of Canadian Ultimate Championship. So Penguin Village running out of option. Gaia just in the driver's seat. In the second half, Gaia scored 4 times while Penguin has responded only once. And Gaia has won halftime 8-4. Disc floating but landing slowly out of bounds. So it will be taken back at least at the brick mark, if not further away, wherever it landed out. So yeah, we'll put it back into play about 5 yards away from the brick mark. Number 8, putting the disc, Justin Lee, hitting his teammates. Nice floating pass to 79 Jonathan Story. Resetting to number 15, Alan Stonehouse. We're looking for a reset. Great patience, great movement by Justin Lee. Making himself free. Now it's Story. Another Story, number 79. And finding his teammate number 42, but there was another women receiver there. So Brock Story landing with the disc, securing the point. There is some discussion around. Not sure exactly what was he. Is it because people were not sure he was in, but it seems that there is no call, so we're confirming. I haven't seen the observers' hands up. Maybe I missed it, but it seems like it was a point. So number 42 scoring the 6th point.
And the Story doing a really good job of holstering that first though. Made the up the line cut, caught it, and had a receiver there, but it was a little bit of a tight window, so decided to look it off. Very vet and long playing decision and move to do, and excuse me, and waited for another open cut.
So Gaia still ahead by 6. Quarterfinal, Mixed Master Division, CUC 2019. My name is Etienne Fournier, and I'm co-hosting this game with Brittany Dos Santos, which has a very busy summer in regards of her ultimate career, visiting Germany and bringing back some bronze medal from World's U24, yeah, and also collecting a gold medal last week in Edmonton in the women's division with her team Sixers in a final, an epic final against Iris from Quebec. So once again, Brittany, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Very clean offense from Gaia in the red zone after quick and clean short passes. Number 29, Kaya Seaman with the disc resetting to Barra. 45. How many discs has he touched in this game? A ton. Going hammer, but no receivers. But number 28, Eric Wizette, was standing by, making sure this disc was not reaching whoever targets there was. 77 now, Darren Hunter. Forced back in, fine Story. Jonathan. Penguins in their own end zone, looking to get out, get some breathing air. Still try to host a vertical stack. Nice D inward by Gaia Cello, forcing a complicated throw, turning the disc Barra 3 yards away from the end zone, asking his teammates to be a little disciplined, giving him some option, resetting to number 7, Kyle Parker, putting it in the space but too high. The wind picking up the disc, putting it out of reach of the intended receiver. Penguin Village in possession, trying to gain some yardage. Going swing, no yardage gain, but very good anticipation by number 3, Brad Davidson. Really, Penguins running out of option. Haven't figured out how to get out of their own end zone every time they tried. They were denied by Gaia's defense. So good pressure by the dark jerseys. And Davidson feeling that this point is dragging on, calling a timeout to make sure that the communication and the set plays will run smoothly. So nice veteran call by number 3, Davidson.
Very smart to take that timeout and really collect themselves and set up an end zone. make sure this isn't 100% point. It's always hurt. It always hurts when you have it right on the end zone line. We talked about this a lot, and then have an unfortunate turnover. So hopefully they can get this easy score in.
So the two teams discussing taking advantage of this 90-second timeout that was called by the dark jerseys, Gaia. Gaia in a great position to score a 13-point. They're only 3 points away from winning this game. And they are in the driver's seat, leading by 6. So Davidson with a vertical stack in the end zone. Barra standing by as it reset. Disc is live. Barra attacking the line. Another line option. It's the second one that will provide Gaia their 13 points. So Kyle Parker scoring the 13th point of his team, securing now a 7-point lead.
And Parker there really showing his speed. His cut, he made a cut a few steps back and then did a swim cut up the line and was open by quite a few yards. Really, you could see how fast he was with that cut.
Great athleticism. And you know, when you talk master division, well, they say, well, maybe the athleticism is maybe not as explosive as maybe in the open division or in the mixed division, but still, there's a ton of great athletes in the mixed master division. And I'd like to highlight Heidi House, number 13 from Gaia, which was really, wow, what an amazing athlete. Also number 55 from Penguin Village, Ali Turnquist, who showed great skills from a catching perspective. So she was able to get open and securing some points and some not so easy to catch passes. So tons of skills here in this quarterfinal game, featuring Penguin Village from Saskatchewan and Gaia from Winnipeg. A prairie clash here in Brampton. Disc is floating, lands just a few inches away from landing in. Number 14 bringing the disc on the brick mark, Brett Campbell, is one of the key handler for Penguin Village. He will be defended by number 32, Mark Elridge. He's being forced back end. Nice scuba to 42. Brock Story. Nice disc movement. Disc is floating. It's in the end zone, but it's just a few, I guess, a few feet out of reach of the intended receiver. And guess what? It will be another Gaia possession.
Nice split and send play. They have no problem hitting that first open throw. It's just getting it to the next person after that is where they've been struggling a little bit.
You're absolutely right. So we're entering the 70th minute of this game. The games are intended to last up until 90 minutes with the hard cap at 85 minutes. So great disc movement again by Gaia. Quick dump and swing, and still bang, they go long. This time it was not accurate enough, but still great execution by Gaia. Number 14 again, Brett Campbell putting the disc back into play. Campbell again with the disc on the sideline. Great earning of yardage. Number 12, Marcus Story. That's number 42, Brock Story this time. And was that cut in? Yes, it is. Confirmed by the observer, number 12. Scoring the 7th point of Penguin Village. There is a 2-story on the Penguin Village. So there's Jonathan, number 79. There's number 42, Brock Story. And there's a third one, Marcus Story, number 12. Are they family related? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. We don't know. Still, can be confusing when you're webcasting. So Brittany, what are your thoughts? 15 minutes before hard cap. You're trailing by 6. The win has not been your friend. So what do you do if you're Penguin Village?
Penguin Village really just needs to get in some quick points here. They need to have a nice pull to start with and really get on the mark and stop the first pass. Try to get a turnover, play really hard person D, and have no turnovers on offense. It's really key for them right now to have quick, efficient points. The more turnovers, the longer the points will go on and the less time they'll have to come back in this game.
Efficiency, I guess, is the key word you mentioned here. So for Penguin Village, Gaia Cell totally in control of this game. But who knows what can happen. Number 12, Letitia Seaman. Still quick this movement by Gaia Cell. Penguin Village has not been able to respond to that on defense so far. Entering the red zone. Jones looking for a reset. Finds who else than Barra. Barra and Jones. These two had a ton of disc touches in this game. Resetting to number 12, Letitia Seaman. Jones again, attacking the break side, putting the disc in the space to number 28, Melanie Stevens. And it's the 14th point of Gaia, only 1 point away from playing the semifinal tomorrow. So great way to attack the break side from Gaia Cell.
Very nice leading pass by Scott Jones. I said in a previous game how those throws are very difficult. Any second too late gives the chance for the defense to have a play on it. And Jones there really leading his receiver.
Gaia 14, Penguins 7. Nothing is impossible, but trying to imagine how Penguin Village can close a 7-point gap with 12 minutes before the hard cap. Considering the way they've been struggling with, try to be with their efficiency, they're still they were never able to find their O-line rhythm so far in this game. So Gaia Cell only 1 point away from winning this game and earning their spot into this 2019 Mixed Master Canadian Championship semi-final. Brampton, Ontario is where we are. Story, Brock, number 42. Number 55, once again, Ali Turnquist just grabbing this disc with one hand. Turnquist here again. Defended by Heidi Howes. Looking for an option. Time is running out. Putting a hammer in the end zone. Time was running out and Heidi Howes claims that it was stalled down. And Hallie Turnquist, I think, is acknowledging that she thrown that very, very desperate hammer in the end zone very, very late. So it's a turnover for Gaia. Just need to confirm where it will be at. It's confirmed it was a stall down. So still, Penguin Village O-line cannot figure out how to get open with Gaia Cell's defense. Gaia quickly moving the disc. Oh, well read by Penguin Village player defending that disc with another opportunity to close that gap. Will they be able to convert? Yes, they are scoring their 8th point. Gaia still in the driver's seat, leading 14-8. Very, very late in this second half. Nonetheless, great effort. And you mentioned it with the efficiency, and that's what we just saw. Like there was a turnover, and 2 passes later, here we go. We have a point. So
Penguins definitely taking a page out of Gaia's book and getting that disc right away and having a quick transition to not let Gaia set up.
Gaia will be receiving on the left-hand side, dark jerseys. Penguin pulling. Jonathan Story will execute that pull. So we've acknowledged all the volunteer work, all the sponsors also. Let's not forget the observers who have a very tough job. They have to keep their eyes everywhere on the field, especially on those pool play where there's only 2 observers. The further you go into the tournament, when you reach out the quarters and the semis and the finals, there's 4 observers usually. But kudos to those observers who are doing an amazing job. And God knows it's a tough job they have. Gaia with a floaty disc backhand. Very well executed, very risky, but still execution was there. Jones putting it long, and no! Just falls out of the hands of the receiver. Just raises his hand and say, hey guys, I'm sorry I had that disc, but I was not able to handle it. Please forgive me. Well, you're all forgiven as far as I'm concerned.
Penguins here also getting a gift. That was a lucky drop. Hopefully they can capitalize on it.
Penguins still struggling to earn some yardage when they are on this side of the field, on the right hand side. Struggling to go upwind. Looking for rhythm. Pass. Oh, there was I think the intended receiver never realized that this pass was dedicated to him. Number 77 was the receiver, I believe, there in Hunter. But miscued. Gaia in the red zone. With Parker with the disc. Feeding Barra. Barra going break to number 29. Seaman putting the disc in the space, but just a little too high for the receiver. And Penguin with another opportunity to score their first break point of this game. They're still looking for that first break, while Gaia had plenty of them. So this will be our last webcast for today. So the webcast schedule is back on track tomorrow morning at 8:30 with some mixed division action. Quarterfinals. The team has not been confirmed yet, but still looking forward to it. That's our next appointment. So hope you will be with us with your cup of coffee, enjoying your Saturday morning. One thing's for sure, we will be there with you. Barra. Jones feeding Parker. Parker. Nice disc movement again by Gaia Cell. Red zone. Looking for a reset. Attacking the line. Oh, what a nice defense. Number 79, Jonathan Story, denying that game point. Great hustle by Story. Again, Penguin Village looking to get in the second half of this field. They had struggled to do so many times during this game. What nice block. I think it's Barra who blocked that pass. Barra to Parker. Parker to Jones. Jones, break side. Seaman is the intended receiver. And it's confirm. So Gaia going away with their 15-point, winning this game, quarterfinal 15-8 against Penguin Village. So what a demonstration of this movement by Gaia SL throughout the game, and that's what had kind of like killed Penguin Village in their hopes of attending to the semifinal.
Unfortunately, Penguin Village just couldn't keep up with the fast pace that Gaia was playing. Very well demonstrated of quick transitioning and how useful it can be, not allowing the defense to set up, and really just not taking their foot off the gas at any point.
So congratulations to Gaia, and also great effort by Penguin Village. So Gaia will reach the semifinal, which will be played tomorrow. So it will be interesting to see who will they be facing off. In the meantime, our next appointment is tomorrow morning, 8:30. Well, we'll see some semifinal or quarterfinal action in the mixed division. So I will have the privilege to host or to co-host this webcast. So thanks again for attending. If you have any comments, or feel free to tweet the CUC webcast Twitter account. So my name is Etienne Fournier. Thanks again for sharing this ultimate game with us, and thanks to Brittany Dos Santos, which has done an amazing job co-hosting with me. So thank you very much, Brittany, for sharing all these great ultimate games with us. So we'll see you tomorrow morning for more action here at CUC 2019 in Brampton, Ontario. Take care. Bye-bye.
Nice. So it's first one to 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sweet.
But normally games like
No, they don't have.
yeah, because usually the games are a little closer.
Gotcha. Okay.
So normally